Hi guys, welcome back to the second part of our Anima and Animus video, where we will go a bit more into the integration of the both inner polarities and in both men and women. And then in the second part of the video we will talk a bit about our Anima and Animus and our relationship that has been going on for a while. So yeah.
So it is really important for all of us, for men and women, to integrate their animus and their anima inside themselves, because otherwise they will get autonomous and act out like in an inappropriate way. So maybe women will get more harsh and hard. They don't like men anymore. In German we say like Mannsweib sometimes, and it's not always like that, but yes,
Can happen, yeah.
it can happen. So and they think like man is the evil of the world and don't even give them the chance to be men again.
It happens a lot, I think, with the anger, because like a strong animus can turn into anger. And anger is not bad, but of course if it comes out, in very extreme ways, it can turn against us and turn against others. So then it's these very harsh opposites that again fight against each other. And I think the same with men. If they don't learn to integrate their anima in a conscious way, at some point the anima will come up because she's fucking strong and she will take over, and then the men have either a lot of emotions bubbling up and they come out in very extreme ways, and they are completely overrun by their emotions, or the other extreme would be that they are so cut off from their anima, from the emotional side, from the eros, that at some point they really fall into depression because they just don't feel anything anymore and they have cut themselves off. So that's like two sides of the same coin of like an autonomous anima that is at some point playing out without being integrated. And what I feel is that nowadays women are a bit faster in integrating both their anima and animus, and there's reasons for that, and we will get into this. So on the one side, I see more and more women really befriending their anima again and reclaiming all this feminine energy and the feminine power and the magic, and learning about herbalism, becoming the new age witches, really getting into crafts and handicraft and all the arts of that are associated with with the female attributes, and learn different tools or techniques, or discover the old wisdom of the old goddess cults and
reclaiming
arts.
that back as well.
Exactly, and remembering it and doing all the women circles and all the midwifery. So they get back into the arts of the midwifery, and that it's not for granted, because the witches have been burned, the female wisdom has been buried, the women have been silenced, and they weren't allowed to express their feminine side, their anima, for thousands of years. And a lot of the wisdom has gotten lost. And so the reclaiming is a very, very powerful movement right now, and that is very needed in both men and women, because the feminine energy is really what we need so desperately in this world, in this male-dominated world.
Out of this patriarchy for such a long time, for thousands of years.
So this feminine energy that we both have is really healing the world, that men and women have. And so this is the one thing that is happening, and I think we all see that it is taking a big part right now in many parts of the world. And then about integrating the animus, the women also, of course, have done huge steps in the last decades, because they finally have more freedom and they are more independent, and they're
the women
and they're really also reclaiming their power in this polarity, because they are not so dependent from their husbands anymore. They do their own thing. They are open their own businesses, no, and just really step up for themselves and really
also because they
integrate
just
it.
can because after like 1960s they were only allowed to not ask their men for permission to get a job.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we can't even imagine the times that has been passed,
Yeah.
and we are just growing up in these times now.
Yeah, but still there is a lot of repression
Of course,
and inequality. So
inequality, yeah.
the animals is like still having a hard time coming back alive into women, and also in a way that men can accept it, yeah, and that it's not taking over in what you explained. And yeah, maybe about the men. So it is a bit faster in the women than in the men, and there is reasons for it.
And I think maybe not one of the reasons, I think also women, as I can see it in you as well, compared to myself, is they are faster. But what I see in the role of a man that has been there for hundreds and hundreds of years is that men got also forced from society, from their parents, from just the understanding how a man should work and what a man should be, was forced in. He has to provide for the family. He has to bring home the money. He has to be this and this and that. He has to learn some like this way. They went to war. Men got sent to war, and what men had seen there, and they had to forget and then come back home again. And just like suppress everything they saw, like
suppress
killing,
the anima also. In a
suppress
way.
the anima and like these feelings about seeing dead bodies on the ground or like killing other people.
Yeah.
This is, I can't imagine, because we just grew up in a time where all of this doesn't happen. Like
True.
in Europe, I have to say.
That's true.
So
yeah, the anima has been deeply buried. It's true.
It had to be buried, because
Yeah.
otherwise, like, how would men be? How would like a person, like a human, like survive with like with this?
It's true. Yeah, and then the women taking on the animus and kind of building, for example, Germany again, no, after the war and while the war was going on, while the men were gone. So they had this double role. It's also so interesting. And yeah, totally. And I think another big reason why the men have a harder time finding a healthy animus is because there is hardly any male role models anymore nowadays, right? Because like the fathers are
still working, still as it
Exactly.
is, like mostly like it is before, like how it was before. So my father was working all the time, and as many other fathers are working constantly, and the women is growing up the children and is being at home and has the time for it. Luckily nowadays we have this we can take Vaterzeit.
Vaterzeit,
It's like you get from work like a certain amount of weeks where you can just like be with your children, but this is like 6 weeks or 2 months, and then how will a father like really grow up and like educate and be with their children?
Exactly. And like I feel that the mother is there for, showing all these like female attributes and the unconditional love, and the father of course also gives the love, but also really shows how to like move forward in life and everything. And this has been such an essential part of rites of passage. For example, when we were back in the tribe and the father used to go with the son and teach him fishing and hunting, and really had this initiation process. When the son came back to the village, he was a man, and that's what he learned what a man is. A healthy male energy and healthy animals.
Yeah, and that's why like most of the people that I know in my age, they still don't feel like I'm a man, like they still don't feel grown up, because maybe the initiation wasn't there, and also like because we didn't have this role model of just father shows us what it really means to be a man.
And so this is strongly missing, and it's very important to have this role, of course, to integrate it in a healthy way. So we're desperately in need of role models. If you look at politicians or stars or whatever. You also don't find these like idols anymore, like I don't know, Bob Marley, Che Guevara, or Gandhi, you know, men where we could see, okay, this is like also what a healthy masculine can look like, a strong masculine, connected to emotions and anima, no?
If they were so healthy, but
yeah. So in our relationship, I feel the parts of my anima that I projected into you were the ones of the mothering energy, of taking care of me, doing a lot of things in terms of cooking and giving me all this unconditional love, this love of a mother for a child. And also the animus parts that I was projecting into you were the ones of like maybe a father that is proud of me, that gives me all this validation and approval, and that praises me and tells me, hey, I believe in you, you can do it, you're great the way you are, which I didn't get enough from my father, you know. So it's really these parts that I see, that I expected from you and that I love so dearly. So it's also beautiful to get them from the outside. And then of course I also know I have them inside of me and can work on integrating them more and giving myself the appreciation and the unconditional love I seek from the outside, and just give it to myself. And I had always this very strong animus, right? So in a way we also sometimes reversed roles, and I really played out my animus even stronger because I have it so strongly, and you were going very much into your anima because you are very connected, right? To your emotions and to your anima.
Yeah, but I think it's also I didn't give you the opportunity. I didn't give her the opportunity many times to just be in her anima, because I was so much living my anima, and like my soft side, and like also needed someone who like guides me the way through
with the animus, no?
With the animus, with the logic, and like, okay, because I was always struggling with, okay, where are my goals, where do I really want to be, and where do I want to go. So, and this is where it really, really helped me with the logic part and with your animus. So, and as you can see again now, we have all of this in us, and like sometimes she has a bigger animus than me.
And we balance it each other.
We balance each other.
When the one partner goes very extreme in one direction, the other partner will automatically balance it out. Counterbalance it, yeah. So it's again a fine dance that is always changing and always finding the balance in you and always adapting. And we are changing, so the relationship is changing. And that's so beautiful. And if we allow this dynamic, then we can just flow and grow in a relationship, and every time we change, we need to learn to fall in love with ourselves and with the partner from again and the new. So we are allowed to have patience with this process.
Exactly, but it can also just be like one day like this, one day like that, and so it's changing sometimes really quickly. This is what I feel.
Much love.
Much love.